Alright guys, welcome to another Shed Suite training video, and in this video we're going to walk you through the customer's buying experience on the e-commerce platform. So I'm going to go ahead and open up my e-commerce website. So that's going to open up here in a new tab. And when when a customer comes to this website and shops your inventory, they will be seeing the inventory that is available at the whole company at the top level. They will be able to filter down and see what inventory is at each dealership. What's going to happen by default is the permissions are going to be asked, and I can actually reset the permissions, and I'm going to go ahead and clear the cookies out of this site so that we kind of start fresh. So if we reload this website, it's going to ask me from the beginning to know the location. So you say yes, allow, and when you do that, it actually puts the location of the customer here in the delivery location. So the customer can click on this and edit this. They can just use the browser's location like what they just did, or they can manually enter a delivery zip code. So then they can put something else in. And so this could be like if they're shopping for someone else, or they're not browsing from the location where the building is going to be delivered. So they can update that. And then they can browse the inventory. So they can look based on width parameters, length parameters, prices. They can check and browse by color if they want to do that. So what they're going to do is click on a building. They can look at the building's details. They'd be able to click rent to own, choose the terms that they want, and Shed Suite will tell them what the prices are of that. The customer can add it to their wish list. They can add it to their cart, and those things will be tracked on the customer on the customer basis. So they can add multiple things to their cart. They can do a quick view of the building right here. They can see the building and the pictures. They can add to cart if they want to. They can also just click right here to add to their favorites. You can see that I'm just adding a few things to my favorites. And then over here, I can see my wish list. I can see the buildings that I've added to my wish list. So from here, the customer can do some comparisons and see which one that he likes the best. And if these listings have been updated, then they'll have custom photos on them. And we'll go over how to do custom listings in a different video. But that's what those, you'll see more photos and and descriptions and all that stuff. Okay. So once the user has added a building to their cart, then they can go to their cart and they can click the purchase type, whether that's going to be a purchase or rent to own. And for this one, we're just going to do purchase, and then they can click checkout now. So when they do checkout now, they're going to be asked to put in their phone number. So this phone number is just a test number right here, but their phone number will be entered, and then Shed Suite will send them a code to their phone. They'll enter that code that they receive from their texts, and then they can click login. And that's going to authenticate them on the e-commerce platform so that they can come back and they can view all their orders and quotes in the future. Okay. So then the customer puts in their first name and their last name and the delivery address. They just start typing the street number, and then the street comes up and they can select the street. The phone number is already pre-filled. You can see that we ran the taxes now because we had the address, so the taxes are run. Then they can put in the email. Okay. And then if the billing address is the same as the shipping address, they can just say yes, it's the same, and they can proceed to the payment page. So on this page, it says your card will not be charged until your order is reviewed and confirmed by a team member, and then they need to put in their credit card information. And then we'll put in an expiration date, a year, code, and I think I need one more one. Oh, wrong date here. 2026. There we go. You can add some order notes. So this is for the customer to fill out. So if they have any questions or they ask them, do you have any notes you need to add for the sales team? They can add some notes here to you, some questions, and then it asks the customer, how would you like to be contacted to confirm your order? So they can check off a text message, phone call, or email. So if they click text message, then it'll say that. And then it says signatures will be requested via text or email when we confirm your order. All right, then you're going to submit the order. And the order is submitting to the system, and then you can see that the order has been submitted. So the order is in the system now. You can see the customer says that they got a thank you message. They says thank you for your order. They can see that they submitted the order here, and the status is submitted. So back on the Shed Suite side, we can actually check and see on the contacts page where this particular customer and order went, because the way it works is the order will go to the dealer where the shed is. So in this case, the inventory was located at the Venice dealer, so that's where the lead and the order went. So if we go under dealers, under the Venice dealer, and we log in as the Venice dealer, we're going to see right here on the dashboard a table that shows all of our new e-commerce orders. So here's our new e-commerce orders. Here's an order that just came in for Timmy Jean, and you can see it was placed here at 4:08 p.m. So at this point, your call to action would be to reach out to the customer. They want to be contacted via phone. Here's the notes that the customer gave you. Please call me after 5 p.m. And so you would call the customer. So here's 3 dots. You'd be able to say, okay, I'm going to call this customer. Click call. You can actually send the link to your phone. You can send it off to your phone, which just sent it off to my phone to call them. And then once you're done calling the customer, you can just click done. And what that's going to do is it's going to update the contact to contacted. It's going to mark the contacted as contacted here, and the status will change. So once you've contacted the customer, then you would go forward with reviewing and submitting the order. So let's say that you called the customer, you open up this order here in Shed Suite. They said, hey, you know what, I really want a ramp. Or you offered them a special that you're doing on a ramp, so you're going to add a ramp to their order, and you're going to go ahead and save that as a quote, as a new version. So you can just click continue, because all the information is already in Shed Suite. We've already gotten that from the e-commerce module. You'll have to update the amount due today because you added more money to the order, and you can just click save as quote. Okay, so we updated it, we added a $200 ramp to it. So this is going to change the subtotal amount. Right now, the order was submitted as $39.50, and we updated it to have, the subtotal is $41.50 because we added a $200 ramp. Once you make that save, the customer can refresh their side, and they'll actually see the invoice that you just saved. You can see the price updated for them. They can see the invoice that you just created for them, so they can see the details of that and all the breakdowns of that. And let's just say, for instance, that they're happy. They want this order. So you can go ahead and just go to your dashboard, go to your new e-commerce orders table, and you're going to click review and submit. So you're just going to review and submit this order and go through the order form process as before. You're just going to put everything is already in the system, so you just have to click continue, continue. Once you get to this step, you can actually click on credit card and use a saved credit card method, because that is on file. So we have a saved credit card method on file because they entered it at checkout. So you can use that saved credit card, click continue. And then on step 4, where you're going to get signatures, you're going to send the signature request to the customer's phone. So you're going to say send signature request to the phone, or you can email it to the customer, whatever is more convenient. and then you can go ahead and click continue and complete the order. Okay, so it looks like there might be an issue with this credit card. I'm just going to change it to cash just so that it can be completed here. So we're just going to submit the order, and we now have a submitted order with a pending signature request, and the customer will actually be able to refresh their screen and they can see that it's waiting on signatures. Okay, so they got a text message, they've got a link on their phone, they could click it, sign it, and that would work fine. They can also see right here it says click to complete signatures, and so clicking that link opens up the signature request. They can click here to view the invoice. That's the invoice that they were seeing in their dashboard, but they can just confirm that. They can sign this invoice and submit it, and that's submitting the signature to ShedSuite. ShedSuite will regenerate that invoice, and then it will show up as signed here. So waiting on signatures, give it a few seconds for it to get back, get rebuilt by ShedSuite. We can refresh, and here it says signatures received. Fantastic. We look at this invoice, and now we see the signatures are on the invoice, and so everything is good to go. And back in ShedSuite, we can see that the order has received the signatures. The order has been fully submitted. It's not on my new e-commerce orders table anymore. I've gotten credit for that order, and then it will get submitted up to the admin to be able to review and submit that order like any other order that you would do. So here's the new order for Timmy Jean. This is just like any other offload order that you would have done in the past, and then from here you can approve and confirm this order. So from there you can kind of see the status. We'll just go ahead and confirm it so we can see we're assigning it to a driver, processing the initial down payment, and once we do that, give it a couple seconds and we'll refresh, and we'll see that the status changes for the customer to processed, and there you go, your order is being processed. Once the driver schedules the delivery, that will show up as scheduled. It'll say scheduled to be delivered on, and then once the building is marked delivered by the driver, it'll say delivered. So that'll update for the customer. They'll be able to track their order status here in their dashboard. They'll be able to come back to your e-commerce website and log in anytime to be able to track their orders and see the status of those orders. If you create a quote for this customer, that will also be tracked as well. So we can actually go through that in a separate video on how to create quotes for e-commerce customers. So hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you in the next one.